Okay, I am not out here to tell ghost stories. I am at a friend's house on Lake Oconee, and this was one of the good nights for some astrophotography, but specifically capturing the Milky Way. It is May 8th. There's a chart for 2021 that I'm using, and I'll put the link below in the description. And it's a PDF, and it lists, based on your latitude, the best nights and for capturing the Milky Way. So I'm going to give it a shot. I'm down here at the off of Lake Oconee, and I really don't know what to expect. I've only come out a few times to do astrophotography. I started a couple years ago. Absolutely loved it. I love being outdoors late at night. Not a sound except for some crickets and frogs, and hopefully there won't be any other critters to surprise me. Being on this lake, I really don't know what you can see. You can't see anything behind me right now. I want to see if I can shine my flashlight in the back here. That's not going to work. Let me get off camera and give you a shot here. Okay. So what's behind me is a dock and a pontoon boat with a green cover, and there's some, you can't see, it was below the camera view, but there's some longer grasses. There is like a seawall here. I've shot off the dock in the past. It's fixed with pylons. I'm not going to completely trust that tonight because I'm going to go so long, 25 seconds or more maybe, in exposure. So I'm back in the grass, just really close to the water. But when I showed you the dock, I'm going to try and use that as a foreground element. I might even do some light painting. I know I'm going to try some light painting and get that to light up in the foreground, and maybe do some blending of the different images. Hopefully that'll come out. It all depends, haven't done a whole lot of light painting, so it just depends on what I'm able to capture, how even I can get that light across the dock and the boat. But it is a spectacular night, crystal clear everywhere. The last time I came out here, I'll throw the picture up, and it was cloudy, but it was still a fun night, and it was a cool picture. But I've got high hopes. I don't know where the Milky Way is in the sky right now. I've got a couple apps. I'm going to check that out. One, of course, is Photo Pills, and then there's another one basically for stargazing called Star Walk on the iOS, and that's a good one too for the augmented reality to see the position of celestial bodies and everything based on your current location. So that'll be fun to check that out. It's just a little bit early, from the research I've done. June, July, August are the prime 3 months to come out for Milky Way, but this one also looked good because the moon is in I don't know if it's waning or waxing, but it's only a 4%. 4% of the moon is visible. I don't even know where in the sky it is. It's not going to make a difference. The other thing to keep in mind for astrophotography is light pollution. I came down, this is almost an hour from my house. There's just very little light pollution on the horizon, low on the horizon at the top of the lake. Nothing in this immediate area, no street lights or anything like that. So this should turn out, fingers crossed, should turn out well. The point of my doing these videos is to learn, to help you learn, but also to make the mistakes ahead of you, maybe. And I made some coming down to the site. I have a new light on top of my GoPro that I was going to use tonight, and it's made by Joby, J-O-B-Y, and I tested it out yesterday in some dark shadowy trails. Worked great. That's the one I used, almost a little bit too bright in my bloopers intro in the last video. but I wasn't aware of how long or how short the battery life is actually. And within, 10 seconds it shut off when I had it on the GoPro. I was going to be lighting my face with a diffuser here. So I've got a, whatever this is, not a nightcap, headlamp. And so I'm lighting myself with a headlamp right now in front of the camera. So yeah, make sure whatever you're bringing out to use, even this headlamp, I've got AAA batteries. I do have an entire toolbox set up as my battery and charging station. So I've got all kinds of batteries and cables and all that. Also turns out I could not charge the Joby light off of a portable charger, USB-C. I don't know if that's just because the battery was so low and it didn't indicate the charging light was coming on, but I've got it plugged in up at the house and in an outlet, so hopefully that'll come on in a little bit. I haven't set up my camera and my tripod. Next thing I'm going to get some, I'm going to take out the augmented reality apps, find where the Milky Way is, try to see, hopefully the core is visible at this latitude and this early in the season. That would be awesome. Either way, I'm going to get some stars above the lake, so that'll be cool. It's so freaking peaceful out here. This is great. And the time, that's the other thing you'd pay attention with that PDF I linked to about the times based on your latitude where to go for Milky Way. It is now 1:23, and the window was from 11 to 4. So I figured I was going to get some B-roll, get set up, and just be ready at 2 a.m. right in the middle for that prime core of the Milky Way viewing. Yeah, let's get the tripod out, get the camera set up, and start getting some things going. As far as settings, I'll get into that when I'll try to get into that when I'm got the camera up and maybe try to show you some stuff. All right, well, I've taken a bunch of shots just messing around with my settings, playing around, using the foreground of this dock and boat. I've really kept my ISO pretty low, between 100 and 800, mainly because I'm doing some light painting. And when the ISO, I noticed when it was up over 400, it was really, it was brightening the horizon light too much. So I kept, right now, I'm going to show you one that is, I've got my 24 to 70 millimeter lens on. I'm at f2.8 and 25 seconds with some light painting, and it took me a few times because I've got, I don't know if you can see, got a nice LED flashlight here that you just got to be careful. You don't want to, you got to take a few shots to figure out how long you need the light on. So in that 25-second exposure, I'm probably leaving the flashlight on about 3 or 4 seconds, maybe a hair longer. So as you're shining the light on the boat over there, I'm shaking it because you don't want to, if you leave it still, you don't want to leave the light on in one stationary spot because that'll show up on camera. You'll see the light will drop off from that wherever you're holding it. So you shake it, and you just basically paint what you're looking at in the lines, and then shut it off really quick. So let's try that. And I've got a 2-second timer on my camera, and I'm gonna get my stance here. I've got to turn my headlamp off, so you're not gonna be able to see the camera. I'll wait just a couple seconds, and then I'll paint with the flashlight. The 25-second exposure, it's got good dark for the stars, the horizon, that's the light pollution. You're seeing the orange in the background, and there's nothing you can do about that. You can lower your ISO at 100. Of course, you're really killing it, but then you're also your foreground is going to be extremely dark. So you can see the sky looks awesome. You can see the light pollution from the horizon. There's no foreground visible, so you're really only seeing the silhouette of the boat and the not even the dock, but the boat on the horizon and then the stars. So Let's go to 800. Well, no, we'll leave it at 25 seconds just to see that difference. So f2.8, ISO 800. I'm not going to do any light painting, and let's look at what that looks like. So at ISO 800, that is a pretty picture. The sky is dark at the top. It lightens down to the horizon. It's kind of got yellowish orange on the horizon, and then the boat ramp is silhouetted, and the dock. So you can really see that. It's kind of a nice image. I'm gonna go one more. Let's jump up ISO 3200. I want to show you the difference. So let's take this picture and see what ISO 3200 looks like. And maybe I'll put some side by side. See if I can get them 3 up so you can see 100, 800, and then the jump up to 3200 ISO. Okay, so on the ISO 3200, I mean, you can see the light. I like the foreground, the silhouette. It brings up some light in the shadows, and you can kind of see the structure of the dock and the boat. But it's really just so much light was retained. It kind of loses it. You can see the stars at the top of the image, and it just kind of gradients down to the horizon where they're blending into the light that was retained. So I've changed the perspective of the camera to be above the grass, so it's catching the dock off the left edge. You can't really see it on camera, but the entire boat, the top of the boat, is close to that 1/3 grid line. I'll probably have to do some cropping in post, but the bench is almost centered in the image, and the edge of the dock is to the right of center. So I'm just going to take this. It's so hard in the dark to figure out what your composition is. So I'm going to take the picture, and I got to raise the ISO. I'm not going to do any light painting because I do still want to see like a silhouette. But this is going to have a lot more starry sky. I do have to do the focus again. Let me find that reflective registration mark on the boat here. Fine tune. That's not bad. All right, lights off. Let's take a picture. I've switched directions. I've got very little view of the Milky Way, but I'm trying to take advantage of that and punch through and use the silhouette of the tree line on each side of the property to frame the Milky Way. So what I've done is just got this nice little abstract shape framing the Milky Way. What I'm finding the best for tonight is 25 seconds, f2.8, ISO 3200. And that is giving some good prominence to the Milky Way. In post-processing, I'll be able to pull out hopefully some color, as well as keeping the contrast of the stars and the dark of the sky. Right now, I'm going to back up and try out on the dock and try to get a shot of the house, of the whole house with the Milky Way above it, just as a gift for the homeowner. That was an adventure. It is 3:38 in the morning. I got here sometime just before 1 o'clock and played around with so much. It took a while to do a lot of the shooting tonight because I am you can't see. So I'm taking the 2-second timer and then the 20 or 25-second exposure, so I can't see exactly how it was framed up until I get through that. And so it takes like 30 seconds, and then you move a little bit, then you press it again. So I did as best I could with shining the light and, you know, to see edges of trees or the dock or the house, the top of the roof and so forth. But you can only do so much with what you got. So the last shot for the homeowner, I think, will turn out. I haven't looked at it in post-processing, but on the back of the camera, it looked really promising. So I think that'd be a cool portrait shot with the house and then the trees silhouetted on the sides of the property, and then the Milky Way above in the sky. So I got high hopes for that, and I think there'll be one of the boat and the dock, maybe with the grass in the foreground. We'll get home and play with that and see how that goes. Well, thank you so much for putting up with this dark video. And you know, if you like the content, if you want to see more, and hopefully I can help you out with my learning and getting through and making the mistakes and going through the experience, you know, if you find that helpful, you know, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell there, and you'll get notifications when I get new videos up. And thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, give me a comment. You know, give me some ideas for future videos and stuff you'd like to see, not just about photography settings and techniques, but you know, the mind and body stuff about being a Gen Xer and our age group and getting out there and getting the shots. So yeah, thanks a lot, and we will see you next time. Bye. What the hell? All right, so I just say that all the time. I don't know why my camera just shut off. And it's dark. I should probably do infinite. Should I do infinite? A lot of silence on this clip. There's nothing to look at. Whoops, I pressed the wrong button. Whoa. Whoa. I gotta get used to my buttons in the dark here. Oh, oh, you know what? I'm at ISO 400, that's why. Dummy. Oh, I dropped my flashlight. No. I didn't want to take a picture.